立法會主席。
The President. Government Bill, first reading. Human Organ Transplant Amendment Bill 2018. Second reading. Secretary for Food and Health. President, I move the second reading of the Human Organ Transplant Amendment Bill 2018 to allow for the conduct of paired and pooled organ donations arrangements in Hong Kong. For patients with terminal organ failure, organ transplant is often their only hope to a new lease of life, and living organ donations is another option for those in queue of deceased organ transplants. However, in some cases, those in need of an organ transplant, though, had found a kin member willing to make a living organ donation. However, that donor is unable to donate the organ due to blood type or tissue incompatibility. One solution to the problem is paired donation. The Human Organ Transplant Ordinance, Cap 465, aims to prohibit the commercial dealings in commercial organs intended for transplanting, to restrict the transplanting of human organs between living persons, and the transplanting of imported human organs. And Bill Section 5D set out the general requirements to be satisfied for organ transplant in all cases with a living donor. And 5D1C set out that a donor has given and has not subsequently withdrawn the donor's consent to the proposed organ removal without coercion or offer of inducement for the purpose of an approval from the Human Organ Transplant Board. And under a pooled and paired donor arrangement, a donor donates an organ to a stranger in exchange for a donation of an organ to the donor's intended recipient, which is the beneficiary as defined under the bill. As the term inducement is not specifically defined, it's necessary to amend the law so that the fact that the consent has been given in consideration of a proposed organ transplant into a person chosen by the donor under the paired or pooled donation arrangements will not in itself constitute an offer of inducement. The main provision of the bill is a new section 5DA, which adds a new section regarding the consent given in a paired or pooled donation arrangement. And we intend to provide that for the purpose of an approval of the Human Organ Transplant Board, under Section 5C, a donor is not to be regarded as giving consent required by Section 5D1C with the offer inducement only because the donor's consent has been given in consideration of a proposed transplant to the donor's intended beneficiary under a pooled or paired donation arrangement. In order to better describe the pooled and paired donation arrangements, we intend to introduce the concept of a dyad, which is a group of two persons consisting of a donor and a beneficiary. The arrangements for paired donor arrangements are also expressly set out. And a paired donation involved two dyads, while a pooled donation involved more than two dyads. And organs to be removed and transplanted under the arrangements are restricted to be of the same kind, and every removal and transplant is to be carried out by a registered medical practitioner in Hong Kong. Paired or pooled donation arrangement is between living non-related persons, and therefore prior approval from the Human Organ Transplant Board is required. And for the HOTB to give approval to such arrangements, it must be submitted by medical practitioners, as well as to satisfy the requirements set out under Section 5D. And on the above recommendations, we have consulted medical professionals and patient groups, the Electrical Panel on Health Services, and the Human Organ Transplant Board. The Hospital Authority has conducted a briefing session with the relevant stakeholders on the legislative amendment and the paired kidney donation program. And Chairman, I urge the members to support this bill to allow for the implementation of pooled and paired donations in Hong Kong in order to boosting the chances for patients to obtain the organ they need. Thank you, President. I now propose the question to you that the Human Organ Transplant Amendment Bill be read the second time. In accordance with the rules of procedure, the second reading debate is adjourned and the bill is referred to the House Committee.
Council now becomes Committee of the Whole Council to